Good job on finding the math challenge. So there's a couple of notes to take at the top, and then I'm going to walk you through the first couple of problems, and then you're going to be on your own for the rest. So we mentioned this before in class, but this is one of the boxes on the periodic table. Every single box on the periodic table has a number on top and bottom, and symbol and a name. So get your pencils ready, you need to take these notes. In every box in the periodic table, you have a number on the top, and that number is called the atomic number, and that number equals the number of protons that are in the atom. And then you always have a symbol, and that is the element symbol. And then you always have the element's name. And down here below, there's always another number on the bottom, and that number represents the atomic mass number. We've mentioned this before, that this number on bottom represents the number of protons and neutrons in an atom's nucleus. The reason why the electrons don't have anything to do with the atomic mass number is because they're too tiny. Only the protons and neutrons are large enough to give mass to the atom. Now you'll notice that this is a decimal number, but in this the exact same box has a whole number. That's because we've just rounded all of these numbers, and we'll learn later why this is a decimal number. But for this case, all you need to know is the difference between atomic number, which tells you the number of protons, and the atomic mass number, which is the number of protons plus neutrons. So basically on this sheet, everything that has a blank you're going to fill in. So you're going to be using the periodic table that you got in class to fill in all these blanks. So first we're going to find O, which has an atomic number of 8. O stands for oxygen, so we're going to go ahead and fill this in. My handwriting isn't going to be great because I'm doing this on my computer, but oxygen is spelled like this, O-X-G-Y-O-N. It's really actually easy to find oxygen on the periodic table because it is the only element that has an atomic number of 8, and all the elements are in order by their atomic number. So I know that the atomic number is 8, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. And the atomic mass is 16. Well, because the atomic number is 8, that's the number of protons. And here's where things get a little trickier, but once you get this, it's going to be really easy. Now I need to figure out the number of neutrons. Well, if I know that the atomic mass is the number of protons plus neutrons, and I already know that there's 8 protons, then 8 plus what would be 16? Well, it would be 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. So I know that there are 8 protons because of the atomic number, and there's also 8 neutrons. So you could think of it like this. You could think of it as, hey, I know that there's 8 protons, so 8 plus what is going to give me 16? Or you can do this. 16, the atomic mass, minus 8 is going to give you your number of protons, or some number of neutrons, excuse me. Now I need to figure out the number of electrons. Well, here's the thing. Every atom wants to be electrically balanced. That means it has the same number of protons as electrons. So if an atom has 8 protons, then it will also have 8 electrons. At least for this case, we're going to assume that all of these atoms are electrically neutral, meaning that the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. Let's do another one. We need to find zinc on the periodic table. All of the elements are in order by their atomic number, so find zinc, which has an atomic number of 30. The element symbol for zinc is capital Z, lowercase n. If there's 2 letters in an element symbol, then the second letter is always lowercase. All right, so the atomic number is 30, the top number, and the atomic mass, the bottom number, is 65. Because the atomic number is the number of protons, I know that there are 30 protons in an atom of zinc. Well, to find the number of neutrons, I just go atomic mass minus the atomic number. So 65 minus 30 is 35. So I know that there are 35 neutrons in one atom of zinc. So now I need to find the number of electrons. Well, I already said this before, but the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. So since there's 30 positive protons, then that must mean that there are 30 negative electrons. Once again, the number of protons and the number of electrons are always equal. I'm going to do one more with you, and then you're on your own. The only element with atomic number of 3 is lithium. Find lithium on the periodic table. Lithium is spelled Lithium. The atomic number is 3. The atomic mass on bottom is 7. There are 3 protons, because that's the atomic number. The number of neutrons is atomic mass minus atomic number. So there are 4 neutrons, because 7 minus 3 is 4. And I know that there are 3 electrons. Since there are 3 positive protons, that must mean that there are 3 negative electrons. You're on your own for the rest. The next element is bromine. It is the only element with atomic number of 35.